Have you ever wondered why some products just fly off the shelves while others seem to collect dust? We often point the finger at the product itself, but what if I told you the real secret isn't the product, it's the launch? Let's break down how a smart launch is the key to getting those massive results we're all looking for.
You know, in the snacks industry, so many of us fall into the 80-20 trap and we don't even realize it. We make about 80% of our money from just 20% of our products. It feels safe, right? Sticking with those fast movers. But look at that huge purple area on the chart. That's all the profit we're just leaving on the table, hidden away in the rest of our product range.
And this really gets to the heart of what we're talking about today. Success is not a passive thing. Products do not just sell themselves. No way. They are made to sell. The work you put in right at the beginning, well, that determines everything that follows.
To really see what I mean, let me tell you a quick story. I'm pretty sure it's going to sound familiar. We'll call our salesman Suresh, and his story, it highlights a very common mistake that costs salespeople and their companies a ton of money. So, Suresh was stuck deep in that 80-20 trap we just talked about. He focused only on his easy wins, the same handful of products that always sold well. So whenever new items were introduced, they just became an afterthought. He never gave them the real attention they needed to even get off the ground. Then one day, his manager asks him a question. It's so simple, but it was a total game changer. He just asked, "How many retailers did you actually show the new products to this month?" And suddenly, silence. Suresh had no answer. That one question just blew a huge hole in his entire strategy. The manager then just laid out this super simple path. Look, a product can only sell after you show it to retailers, and you can only show it if you actually have it in stock. And, of course, you only have it in stock if you order the right quantity in the first place. It's a chain. And if that first link, ordering right, is weak, the whole thing just breaks. And that was the big light bulb moment. The new products, they weren't weak. They were failing because they were never given a fair chance to succeed. The problem wasn't the product at all. It was the launch. Now, Suresh's story isn't just a one-off thing. It's totally backed up by the data. The real reason most products fail? Well, it's probably not what you're thinking. Let's look at the hard facts. Okay, this chart right here shows exactly where it all goes wrong. Imagine your launch plan is for 50 shops. Now look at the huge difference in those bars. You needed enough stock for 50 shops, but you only ordered enough for about 20. So what happens to the other 30 shops? Your launch has already failed for them before you've even made a single visit. That initial mistake guaranteed a weak launch from the very start. This is why that classic excuse, "Oh, this product has no demand," is so misleading. It's not that demand doesn't exist. It's that it was never actively created. You can't possibly know if there's demand from customers who never even got a chance to see the product. And this illustrates the point perfectly. I mean, have you ever seen the exact same product be a huge success in one territory and a complete flop in another? The product is the same. So what's different? The effort. In the successful area, the launch was strong. More stock, more retailers, better reach. The launch is the only thing that changed. A senior general manager from a top company summed it up perfectly. He said, if you want to kill a product, the recipe is simple. Just launch it with not enough stock and not enough preparation. It is a guaranteed path to failure. All right, so if you need one final piece of proof, you don't have to look any further than your own sales sheet. Let's talk about your company's best-selling item, what I like to call the hero product principle. I want you to just stop and think for a second. Your number one seller, your hero product, why is it so successful? I mean, did it just magically start flying off the shelves on its own from day one? Of course not. That product is a hero today because someone, and maybe that someone was you, gave it a hero's launch. You ordered enough stock. You pushed it to more and more retailers. You covered the market and you locked in those repeat orders. You did the work. So you see, its success wasn't magic. It was the direct result of a strong launch plus consistent effort. You made it a hero, and that means you have the power to do it again and again with your new products. Here's a really simple analogy to help this idea stick. Imagine a house where the parents never buy the textbook their child needs for school. The child, without the tools to study, gets low marks. And then the parents blame the child for being weak in their studies. But what's the real truth there? The child wasn't weak at all. The most essential tool for success, that textbook, it never even arrived.
This is the perfect analogy for a product launch. We can't blame the product for poor performance if we never gave it the basic tools it needed to succeed. Okay, so now that we really understand the problem, let's talk about the solution. This brings us to the key to unlocking higher earnings, your ultimate sales formula. All right, pay close attention, because this next slide is the most important takeaway from our entire chat. It's a simple formula that can fundamentally change your sales results starting right now. Here it is, your formula for success. More products leads to more sales, which leads to more profit. It is really that simple. When you successfully launch the full range of products, you unlock your full earning potential. It's a direct, powerful equation. So let's bring it all back to our core principle. Products do not move by themselves. They are made to move. And that critical first push, that first movement, always begins with a complete, well-stocked, and properly planned launch. And that is what this all boils down to. If you remember just one thing from all this, make it this. The better you launch, the better you sell. It really is that simple. Now go make